Hey up, it's that old Yorkshire geek here, back again with some more news from the world of popular culture, science fiction, fantasy, horror, all that groovy stuff. Anyway, so a bit of a slow news day today, so I had to go digging. But I found some news, and as you can see, it's up there on the screen. Star Wars reportedly planning new post-sequel trilogy Jedi Order project. Try saying that 5 times fast. Or even 3. A brand new report claims that Lucasfilm is actively developing a new Star Wars trilogy set after the sequels about the revamped Jedi Order. And there's the late Luke Skywalker and Rey Skywalker. Anyway, Lucasfilm is reportedly developing a post-sequels... Oh, excuse me, I'm sweating cobs in here. I shouldn't really wear this, but, anyway, whatever. Start again. Lucasfilm is reportedly developing a post-sequel Star Wars trilogy that revolves around a revamped Jedi Order. It's been more than a couple of years since Star Wars The Rise of Skywalker hit theatres, supposedly wrapping up the Skywalker saga. For a while, it seemed like Disney wasn't interested in tackling stories after the Resistance defeated the First Order, but that may not be the case now. After Disney bought Lucasfilm, the House of Mouse didn't waste time developing a brand new trilogy. This excited fans, especially after years of not having any Star Wars movies. 2015's Star Wars The Force Awakens was generally well received, but fans and critics were divided on Star Wars The Last Jedi. Boo, he says. Before Star Wars The Rise of Skywalker even started production, it was already plagued with issues. Original director Colin Trevorrow exited the film, or was he pushed? While Lucasfilm scrambled to find a replacement, it also needed to find a way to work around Carrie Fisher's untimely death. Ultimately, the movie failed to deliver a satisfying Skywalker saga finale. Because it wasn't what it was the Palpatines won. Anyway, that's enough of my opinion for the moment. Because of this, many presume that Disney isn't interested in telling stories after the sequel trilogy. However, that may not be the case. Former Vanity Fair reporter Joanna Robinson revealed on the Ringerverse podcast via CBR that she's heard whispers that Lucasfilm is actively developing a new trilogy that tackles a revamped Jedi Order. That being said, the journalist also reminded fans that you can fill an entire stadium with ideas Lucasfilm has been interested in, but never realised. And there's some Jedi. With Mace Windu front and centre. And I bet he's coming back. Bet he is. I bet he's not dead. Anyway, at this point, Lucasfilm is focused on telling stories set in the past. After the success of Mandalorian, aren't they all in the past? It's a long time ago in a galaxy far, far away. Long time ago. Or is that not from our perspective? Whatever. After the success of The Mandalorian, they eventually greenlit a string of other shows that either take place before or immediately after the original trilogy. Until this new report, there hasn't been any indication that they are even contemplating tackling the post-sequel trilogy era, especially given people's varying opinions of Star Wars The Rise of Skywalker. Notice they're not saying that episode 7, 8 and 9. Because they want to just push them to one side, in my opinion, and take the episode parts away from them. Anyway, I keep offering my opinion and nobody's asked for it. So it's best to take this news with a healthy grain of salt before one gets fully invested in the idea. However, hang on, I've gone too far there. However, assuming that this report is actually true, it means that Rey, in particular, will be back at the Star Wars forefront. At the end of Star Wars The Rise of Skywalker, there's a hint that she will rebuild the Jedi Order after learning of Luke Skywalker's, Mark Hamill, as if we didn't know, failure. But very little has been revealed about this thus far. However, the fact that she seems to learn from the mistakes of the old Jedi Order is an interesting idea. Isn't that it? Yeah, that's it. So there we go, that's on Screen Rant. As usual, the links will be in the description below. And, do all this, like and subscribe and share the videos, and hit the notification bell, and drop a comment in the comments. It would be much appreciated. And thank you for watching. If you've got this far in, thank you. Anyways, where were we? Star Wars. So there we go. So they may be doing a new, well, I don't know if it'll be a trilogy, but a new series of films with Rey. My brain's gone again. That actress. God, why does my brain? It just like shuts down as soon as I turn the camera on. I can never remember names. Hey, it's there. It's on tip of my tongue, as Emily News might say. Daisy Ridley. I knew it'd come to me. Daisy Ridley. At least it wasn't 1 o'clock in the morning. So, and I quite like Daisy Ridley, I must admit. And I didn't hate Rey. Yeah, she was, a Mary Sue. But, I didn't hate her. I wasn't keen on the films. I loved Force Awakens, hated Last Jedi, and Rise of Skywalker were just... It was a comedy, wasn't it? It was just hilariously bad. But the actors did the best with what they were given, and I quite like Daisy Ridley. So she's easy on the eye, and she's a decent actress. And when she did that little nose scrunch thing, she won me heart. Anyway, whatever. So I don't mind if they're good scripts. If they're good scripts and good stories, then fair enough. If it's more of what we've been getting, what we get a lot of these days, which is seem like plots that are just scribbled while somebody was sat on the toilet or something like that, or they just had an idea and scribbled it down. And I think this is how Jon Favreau wrote Book of Boba Fett. He was at Bog, scribbled it down. Boba Fett does this, that, and the other. The end. Gave it to Robert Rodriguez. Go with that. Fill it out, which is what he did with an episode of The Mandalorian, didn't he? If they don't do that, if they do give it some thought and a proper scene to, then it'll be good. But we shall have to see, won't we? I hope it'll be good. To be honest, personally, I think they should move away from... I know they're not going to, but I think they should move away from the sequel trilogy. Just try and forget about it. Just start a new story set in the Star Wars universe, and just try not to just move away from what's been done before. Maybe mention things in passing, like the Skywalkers and Vader, and then mention that in passing, but focus on new characters, new situations, new stories, new Jedi, that might emerge from the other side of the galaxy or whatever, new enemies, all that. I think they should do that. But they won't, because they've got to keep giving us member berries, haven't they? So, anyway, from one star thing that was ruined to another star thing that's been ruined. Star Trek Discovery. Can you see this, by the way? Let me check my thingy. Oh, yes, you can. Yes, it's there. Star Trek Discovery Season 4 UK release. Because I'm in the UK, so obviously I'm going to talk about that. Final half of sci-fi drama premiere unveiled. Star Trek Discovery is officially returning to screens with the final 6 episodes of Season 4 after a dramatic cliffhanger. Yeah, I bet it was. I've got to admit, I started watching Season 4 and I started watching Episode 2 of Season 4. I got about 5 minutes in and I turned it off because it just got me angry. Sorry, it just did. It just did. It's not Star Trek. It's Star Drek, as Doomcock might say. Hail Doomcock. Look him up. Right, after an epic cliffhanger, the highly acclaimed CBS All Access sci-fi series will finally be returning to UK screens on Pluto TV. What's that, everybody asks? It's an app. I don't know. Maybe it's available on some cable or satellite, Sky. I don't know, but I do know you can download it onto the PlayStation. If you've got a PlayStation 4 or 5, I think you can download it on there. and watch it through your PlayStation. Maybe the Xbox One as well, I don't know, but that's what you can do. Or you could probably watch it on your computers, can't you? There'll be a PlutoTV.com, I should imagine. I bet it don't get thousands of viewers. I bet it don't. I bet Discovery in the UK, I bet it gets hundreds of viewers, and that's hilarious to me. But it shouldn't be. It should be sad. But that's CBS for you, buggering up the international market, taking it off Netflix because they're idiots. Or did Netflix tell them to go? I don't know. Star Trek Discovery fans will be able to see the fate of their favourite characters when the final 6 episodes of Season 4 premiere. The last time viewers saw the USS Discovery, Captain Burnham, played by Sonequa Martin Green, and Book David Ayala, failed to agree on the best method to stop dark matter anomaly, DMA. Yeah, of course they always fail to agree, don't they? Because nobody ever does what the captain says in Star Trek Discovery, in modern Star Trek. The mysterious anomaly had destroyed planets and caused nothing but devastation across the galaxy. Episode 5, titled The Examples, confirmed the DMA was a greater threat than anything the United Federation of Planets had ever faced before, because that's how it happens in new Star Trek. Things that come along are just worse than what happened last time. Instead of just... whatever happened to small Star Trek stories, personal Star Trek stories that just affected a small group of people, or maybe a planet of people, that the Starfleet's got to come in, save, and go about the business, go save another planet next week. But no, it's got to be galaxy-wide, the universe is at stake, the whole Federation is at risk. Well, Federation in this is no now, is it? It's nothing compared to what it used to be. Don't get me started. The anomaly first emerged in the Season 4 premiere, where its unexpected appearance destroyed Book's home planet of whatever that says, Quejian. Yeah, I've seen it, I've watched it, and I've probably seen it pronounced, but I forgot, because Star Trek Discovery is forgettable. Look at them uniforms, they're bloody awful. Throughout Season 4, the Discovery have been racking their minds trying to figure out the mysterious anomaly, and probably crying a lot, which challenged every scientific explanation from Commander Paul Stamets. Why have I read that like that? I'll start again. Which challenged every scientific explanation from Commander Paul Stamets. Anthony Rapp. Yeah. Viewers watched as Burnham and the Federation recommended going the peaceful route to contact the DMA's alien creators. See, because I haven't watched it, I don't know what they're on about. So. I don't watch the show, but I do watch Bird of Prey 5's reviews. So look him up, he's excellent. Bird of Prey 5. He does great reviews. However, Book went against their efforts, and I'll put a link in the description. However, Book went against their efforts and decided to side with scientist Ruon Tarker Sean Doyle, who believed they needed to immediately destroy the DMA. The two took matters into their own hands and stole the Federation's spore drive prototype, which had been installed in Book's ship. Well, they don't need it anyway, do they? I've noticed in modern Star Trek, they've got this spore drive that can take you instantly anywhere in the universe, it seems, or the galaxy at least. But then when they use normal warp drive, they get there in like 5 minutes anyway, so what's the point? Moon. That looks like an eye, doesn't it? Is it supposed to? After it looks like a painting, doesn't it? Is that actually from the series? It says there. It is. Well, I don't say int. It looks like a painting, doesn't it? Anyway. Oop. After Book and Tarker continued on their daring mission to destroy the DMA, even though Discovery's computer Zora, oh god, I forgot about that, voiced by Annabelle Wallis, revealed the location of the anomaly's creators. However, instead of revealing the coordinates for Discovery to prepare for first contact, she decided to keep the information, as the mission could prove to be fatal. With the ship ultimately protecting the crew and itself, they were left with a series of questions about the best route of action. The debates raised different issues and drove a wedge between the team. Thankfully, Star Trek Discovery will return so fans can finally see what the crew would have decided to do. Oh, I thought that was it. After the mid-season finale aired, the series had been on hiatus since the end of December and will finally return to screens. The final 6 episodes of Season 4 will begin to air weekly after its premiere on Friday, February 11th at 9 p.m. 2 days ahead of the initial Season 4 release, Netflix had pulled the plug on sci-fi series and had scrapped plans for its launch on the platform. To add insult to injury, Netflix had also removed the previous seasons of the series from their streaming platform, but luckily good Star Trek's still on there. Proper Star Trek. With fans concerned about its worldwide release, the free streaming service Pluto TV came to the rescue, which is where the second half of Season 4 will be available. I think, I'm not sure, but I think CBS might have a stake in Pluto TV, which is why it's on there. But I bet they don't get many views. Hundreds, I bet, rather than thousands or millions. I bet they don't even get millions in America. During the hiatus, Star Trek Discovery released a trailer which gave fans an insight into the upcoming episodes. One of the biggest clues teased Nan, Rachel and Cheryl, her future on the Seed Vault ship, could soon come to an end as there was a glimpse of her in a Starfleet uniform. Oh yeah, she decided to stay there, didn't she, last season? Which I thought, what a waste, because she won at best characters with Nan. Yeah, she's with them things. She's got them things, hasn't she? Barzan, she's a Barzan, that's it. Elsewhere in the trailer, there was a brief shot of Tilly, Mary Wiseman, at Federation HQ, which appeared to be damaged. Why? I don't know. You'll have to watch it. Star Trek Discovery Season 4 Part 2 will premiere on Friday, February 11th on Pluto TV Sci-Fi and Pluto TV Sci-Fi series in the UK. So that is it, right? That's it. What's that? Is that an old story? Is that a new one? We shall look at that in a moment. Is this a new story? Because it said February 11th and we're past that now, aren't we? Oh, why it's from February 11th. Thought it was from today. Told you had to go digging. Anyway, what was that down there about William Shatner? Let's go and look at that one. Is that a new story? Is it an old one? Oh, it's from last year. It's from last year. He's alright because he's been to space, hasn't he? Yeah, he's alright. He's alright. I think I saw this when it happened. I thought this were a new thing. Right, so we'll leave that at that. Let's go back to that one. Right, next. Anyway, Star Trek, yeah. As I've said, I'm not a fan of Star Trek Discovery. Really enjoyed Season 1 because I didn't know it could get any worse, to be honest. I didn't like the Klingons. They looked awful. I didn't like the ship designs. They look awful. Even Discovery is off. The spore drive is a bad idea. The way the ship's going to warp it looks terrible. Why they just stay with the way it was before, like in Next Generation, Deep Space Nine, and all them. What's up with that? Don't know. They've got to change things, haven't they? They're just 25% more different. That's the buzzword, isn't it? Things have got to be different. Anyway, if you want to watch it, it's on Pluto TV in the UK. If you're in America, it's on CBS All Access, isn't it? And I'm thinking, is it Canada? Is it on Space TV or whatever they call it, their channel? It seems to get everything up there. I wish I lived in Canada sometimes. Hey, we'll do honk honk for the Canadian truckers. Anyway, where were we? Right, Pirates of the Caribbean 6 risks delay after Johnny Depp exit. Is this a new one? Yes, today, February 13th. Pirates of the Caribbean fans may be in for some disappointment in the near future as the upcoming 6th movie in the Disney franchise. Sorry, I got distracted there from something. I don't know what happened there. 6th movie in the Disney franchise could be delayed. This news comes after Johnny Depp was axed from the series' future. But that was ages ago, wasn't it? But let's see what it says. What are you? Go away. There we go. Right. Fans of Pirates of the Caribbean have been yearning for another film in the franchise since the 5th movie hit cinemas. wasn't very good, really, was it? Pirates of the Caribbean, Salazar's Revenge, which is what it was called here at UK, otherwise known as Dead Men Tell No Tales. Why didn't they call it that in the UK? I have no idea. It was released in 2017 and marked the last time viewers saw Johnny Depp as the anti-hero Captain Jack Sparrow on screen. The future of the series has been teased since then, but a release date continues to elude fans. In recent years, Depp has been axed from the franchise. Not just that, he got axed from Fantastic Beasts as well, didn't he? Because of his... Ooh, don't get me started. The star's exit followed an ongoing court case he had with his ex-wife Amber Heard over wife-beater claims made about him. The actor has since also been axed from the Harry Potter spin-off series Fantastic Beasts as well because of these claims. In lieu of Depp's return as Jack Sparrow, a Hollywood actress has been revealed as the next star of the Pirates of the Caribbean franchise, and that looks like Harley Quinn, doesn't it? Thingamabob. Oh God, the call. Margot Robbie. Is it Margot Robbie? Looks like it to me. Yeah, it is. Margot Robbie announced in 2020 that she will be involved in the upcoming Pirates of the Caribbean 6, but Robbie's involvement may be the cause of a delay that could be incoming at any point. In recent weeks, a number of casting announcements have been made for the upcoming Barbie movie. The film, based on the doll of the same name, stars Robbie as the titular character, alongside Ryan Gosling, Simu Liu, who we saw in Shang-Chi. Obviously Ryan Gosling, wooden. Not a fan. And America Ferrera, who was in other stuff. Name rings a bell. And there's Johnny Depp. There's Margot Robbie. The Barbie movie is being directed by Greta Gerwig of Little Women and Lady Bird fame. The live-action film is reportedly due to begin filming this year with scope for a 2023 cinematic release. I bet it's biggish. I nearly swore then. Rubbish. I mean, a Barbie film. Well, but you never know. You think, oh, it's going to be for kids, it's going to be for little girls, isn't it? But you never know these days. Look what they do with Powerpuff Girls live action. Look it up. With this in mind, it's likely the upcoming Pirates of the Caribbean 6 will not even begin filming until 2023 at the earliest. And that's if scripting, casting and pre-production have already finished. Chances are it hasn't. The potential delay may help out Depp's chances of a return, however. With more time that passes, Depp's chances of returning to the series in the future improve. But for now, there has been little word about the star's comeback. Well, how will it improve? I don't know. In the meantime, Robbie has confirmed her Pirates of the Caribbean film will include lots of girl power. Yay, go sister. We haven't done yet, I thought we'd done. Robbie added, I'm not a producer on Pirates, so I'll sit back and kind of wait for the process. We're really, really excited at the prospect of adding obviously a very key female element to that world. I still can't read out. Unlucky episode 13. Don't make it like that for every episode. I can't read. Her comments follow those made by Pirates boss Jerry Bruckheimer, who teased the end of Depp's journey in the franchise. He explained, we're working on a draft right now and hopefully we'll get it shortly and give it to Disney and hopefully they'll like it. We don't know. We've been working on it for a little bit. The one we're developing right now, we're not sure quite what Johnny's role is going to be, so we're going to have to see. The Pirates of the Caribbean franchise is available on Disney Plus, yeah, and that's it. So, I mean, I don't think they'll get him back. Anyway, I know a lot of people like Johnny Depp. I like Johnny Depp. I think he's amazing, and I think he's been shafted basically because of this Amber Heard business. I don't think he beat her. I think she beat him, to be honest. I think she knocked 7 bells out of him and blamed it on him. Or maybe retaliated once. I know it's not, he shouldn't do, but people are people and people react, don't they? If she's hitting him or throwing things at him, maybe he'd had enough. But I'm not condoning it. But people are people and people do things good and bad. Doesn't mean they're evil. Doesn't mean that you should take their livelihood away from them. unless they go to prison, obviously, but we're not talking about that, are we? So there we go. So anyway, Pirates of the Caribbean 6. I mean, I didn't like Salazar's Revenge. I thought it was dull, to be honest. And the one before it wasn't much better, but the first three, the ones that had a continuing story, didn't they? Up to World's End. I really liked them. Really, really. Right, I'll have a little drinky. I'll probably be burping after I've had a drink of this. I apologise in advance. Hey, Diet Coke. Aspartame. Right, next. Lord of the Rings TV series. Team responds to internet pushback over diverse cast. Right, because as you remember, we looked at the pictures the other day, didn't we? They did some like posters, weren't they? Showing hands of people, and then there was that Vanity Fair article that showed the more images, and obviously it's diverse. It's the name of the game these days, isn't it? Some people love it, some people don't. Now, if you want me to be honest, I'm going to say in this case, in the case of Lord of the Rings, I don't think it should be diverse, but that's just me. Because I don't, it's diversity for diversity's sake, innit? I mean, if it were in the modern day, with modern people, modern story, diverse, do it, because that's realistic, innit? But it's Lord of the Rings, it's not realistic, it's a fantasy. And you could say, well, if it's a fantasy, it can do anything, but it's not the fantasy that Tolkien wrote, is it? It's an English mythology that he wanted to create, didn't he? Because England didn't have a deep mythology like a lot of European and Nordic countries have, because we kept getting invaded, didn't we? So our mythology got basically overwritten, didn't it, over the centuries? And so he wanted to, except for like Beowulf, which is like an old English story, isn't it? But it's not even set in England, is it? Is it Denmark or something like that? But anyway, I digress. Right, let's read. And then I'll tell you if I agree with them. First look photos and a treasure trove of information about Amazon's Lord of the Rings show, The Rings of Power, has arrived. Amid Vanity Fair's sprawling new feature by Joanna Robinson and Anthony Bresnikan, the team behind the pricey TV series has responded to backlash from some fans and or trolls. If somebody disagrees with you, don't call them a troll. If they disagree with you and just say, you should go jump off a cliff, then you're a troll. But if they just disagree with you and say, no, I don't agree with what you just said, that's not a troll, that's just disagreeing with somebody. I hate social media. The creative team and producers address some of the biggest complaints and concerns that a faction of potential viewers has expressed. Faction. It's like a militant. These range from more legitimate angles, such as the inclusion of hobbits and sexual content. Yeah, I presume. To the racist response to a more diverse cast than that of Peter Jackson's beloved trilogy of Lord of the Rings films. I haven't seen anybody being racist. I've seen people saying it's supposed to be an English mythology, so there wouldn't be, black people. Basically, that's basically it. Black people in Peter Jackson's films, is there? Nobody kicked off then, did they? Because it's true to the story that was written. Set during the Second Age of Middle-earth, thousands of years before the events of both The Hobbit and The Lord of the Rings, the show will contain a number of original stories and characters. Just my glasses so I can read. Among the new additions is an elf named Arondir, who is played by Ishmael Cruz Cordova. Can't do the R because I've got a silly tongue. The first person of colour to play an elf in a Tolkien-related project. Actors such as Lenny Henry and Sophia Nomvete, I apologise, are also involved, with the latter playing the Law's first woman dwarf on screen. The series creators have no qualms about diversifying the world of Middle-earth. It felt only natural to us that an adaptation of Tolkien's work would reflect what the world actually looks like. No. said executive producer Lindsay Webber. Tolkien is for everyone, yes. His stories are about his fictional races, yes, doing their best work when they leave the isolation of their own cultures and come together. Yeah. But that don't mean it's where are we? That don't mean it's a reflection of the world, what the world actually looks like, does it? It's a story of different races of people, because they are people, coming together to fight evil, an evil that threatens them all. So they're hobbits, elves, men, dwarves, but they're all from the same region, which is supposed to be like an English. I know it's not English, Middle Earth, isn't it? But it's supposed to be based in English mythology. And I think Tolkien did say, there were other people like the Easterlings, and we did actually see them, didn't we, in Peter Jackson's trilogy. Them that were adding the Oliphants and all that. Not that I know they're called something else, but there were some that looked as though they were from the Pacific Islands, and there were some that looked, although you couldn't really tell because they were all covered in paint and stuff. But some of those that were riding the Oliphants, I mean, they might have been, black people, I don't know, because you couldn't tell because they were covered in war paint. I'm digging a hole for myself. But anyway, but they were supposed to be from, somewhere else that had been lied to by Sauron and talked into coming to fight for him, hadn't they? But the Second Age, that wasn't happening apparently, according to people that know the stuff, which ain't me. I'm just waffling on. J.R.R.T. That's obviously J.R. Tolkien scholar Mariana Rios Maldonado told Vanity Fair, obviously there was going to be push and backlash, but the question is from whom? Who are these people that feel so threatened or disgusted by the idea that an elf is black or Latino or Asian? I haven't seen anybody feeling threatened or disgusted by that. I haven't. I've seen people say, they've said Tolkien said there was, the elves were fair skinned. So there you go. I've not seen them threatened or disgusted. They've noted what's in the works of the author of, what they're basing this series on. And here we go. There's she's the dwarf princess, isn't she? And they said there's a hint of a beard there. People have said they should have beards, and there's a hint of a beard, but it's not. You won't mistake it. You won't mistake her for a man, would you? They've said dwarf women were mistaken for, men, male dwarves, because of the beards. And Aragorn even went, "It's the beards," and he went like that, didn't he? He didn't go like that with the Doritos. As for the more legitimate concerns regarding the show, I think whoever wrote this is, doing the best trying not to appear racist, basically, because that's one of the things in it that people don't want these days, and they walk on eggshells, even though, they've got a legitimate opinion. As for the more legitimate concerns regarding the show, the creators said there will be hobbits, sort of, even though Tolkien's book stressed that hobbits did not factor into the history of Middle-earth much until Bilbo and Frodo Baggins and their companions came into the picture. Yeah, but I'm not an expert on Tolkien, but even I know that at the beginning of The Hobbit, they talk about one of Bilbo's ancestors, don't they, being tall enough to ride a horse, and one of them invented golf or whatever. Was it a dwarf that invented that? Anyway, yeah. And one of them was big enough to ride a horse because he'd fought in some battle or something, something like that. And that was before Bilbo. So the hobbits, but it went thousands of years before. One of the very specific things the texts say is that hobbits never did anything historic or noteworthy before the Third Age, said co-showrunner Patrick McKay. But really, where are you going? But really, does it feel like Middle-earth if you don't have hobbits or something like hobbits in it? Hobbit ancestors known as Harfoots will appear, although they do not reside in the Shire. The potential sexual content in the show, I'll just move that down a bit, has also been a question mark since Amazon was reported to have hired an intimacy coordinator. McKay said, or is it Mackay, whatever, said, nobody needs to worry about them Game of Thrones-ifying Tolkien's work in that sense. McKay said they aim to make a show for everyone for kids who are 11, 12 and 13, even though sometimes they might have to pull the blanket up over their eyes if it's a little too scary. She went on, I thought it was a he. Where are we? Yeah, Patrick McKay. I don't know. We talked about the tone in Tolkien's books. This is material that is sometimes scary and sometimes very intense, sometimes quite political, sometimes quite sophisticated. It's also heartwarming and life-affirming and optimistic. It's about friendship and it's about brotherhood and underdogs overcoming great darkness. Rings of Power, due to arrive on Prime Video September 2nd. Everybody knows that. Read the full article. Yeah, whatever. I did that other day. So there we go. So basically, if you don't agree with them, you're a racist. That's what they're trying to say. Not to put too fine a point on it. You know, if you're looking at the work and saying, well, Tolkien didn't have black dwarves, did he? Or black elves. So why are you having them? And if they ain't got them, you know, is it? This is another question. Is this acting as a prequel to Peter Jackson's Lord of the Rings, or is it its own thing? And Peter Jackson's, you know, films, the Hobbit's films and the Lord of the Rings films, have nothing to do with this at all. Even though there seems to be similar sort of production designs, isn't there, and all that. You know, is that the case? And then they can do what they want, can't they? Put whatever they're wanting. But people have said, haven't they, if it's a sequel to Peter Jackson's films, then when was the genocide? You know, that got rid of all these diverse characters. But anyway, we'll see what happens. I'm sure the actors that are in are, you know, great people, great actors, and you know, they're getting a gig out of it basically. So can't blame them. Can't blame them. Blame the writers and producers who decide on this sort of thing. It might be great. You never know. We'll see, won't we? We'll see. We'll see. I'm not going to kick off about it because I don't really care, to be honest. As long as the story's good. Anyway, so that's it. That's all stories I've got for today. So I shall get rid of that. Boom, there we go. Different background. I thought we wouldn't have this warp field because I noticed things were getting jerky, and I wondered if it were that warp field thing and the videos I'd been showing. You know, in little windows. I thought it was just taxing my computer a bit, maybe, I don't know. Even though I'm supposed to have a super duper computer with 32 gig of RAM and all that. But I digress. So I'll just go for a static Milky Way background. So there we are. So let's leave it at that. If you want something to read, well, while we're at it, I've got this here. There's this book. Look, there, Mercury Rapids, written by somebody called Stephen Johnson, and it's quite a thick book. Look, there we go. Because you can get this from Amazon. It's me. I wrote this a long time ago, but not in a galaxy far, far away. I wrote it at home. I did write it quite a long time ago, and it was a trilogy of books. There were 3. There was Mercury Rapids, The Thoth Imperative, and Mercury Rapids, The Mountains of Tomorrow, and they were available, you know, as separate paperbacks or e-books. But I decided to mush them all together into a single volume. So you can get this on Amazon. You can get it either as, you know, a paperback, or you can get it as on Kindle, you know, for like a fraction of the price as it is in, you know, hard form. And there you go. So if you like, it's a science fiction story. As you can see, it's got a picture of a UFO on, you know, a triangular UFO. And it's about a chap called Bill Lewis who gets involved with UFO abductions and all that stuff, and shadowy government organisations, Majestic 12, etc. And the British version of that. And gets, you know, involved with that, and he goes on all sorts of adventures, things that he can't control, which is why it's called Mercury Rapids. People ask me, why is it called Mercury Rapids? Because he's on an adventure he can't control. He's like on a river of quicksilver, and he's just getting washed along, and you know things are out of his control. He just does the best he can, and he goes on, you know, and the world is in danger from these various alien races. Oh, look, there's a picture of me there, look, with long hair. And it's available on Amazon. Just search on Amazon, search anywhere for it. And if you want to have a read, it's a bit of fun. So there you go, bit of self-promotion. I don't do that very often. But I thought, seeing as it's a slow news day, I might get some sales out of it. You never know. Cause it's all about the money. Show me the money. I'm kidding. It's just a bit of fun. Right, we'll leave it there. We've 40 minutes. That time flies, doesn't it? Hey. Yeah, so anyway, so until tomorrow, hopefully, tomorrow won't be a slow news day. Even though we had 4 stories today, I'm classing that as slow. So hopefully we'll have more tomorrow. We'll see. Anyway, so we'll leave it there. I'm sorry there's no warp field behind me, you know, but you never know. No cat's annoying me today. She's bogged off out before I started doing this, so she's not disturbing me. But I don't mind even if she did. She could jump up on me, I could show you her and stuff, but she hasn't. She's gone out with the mates, probably up to no good outside somewhere. Right, so I'll leave it there. Anyway, so until tomorrow, hopefully, fingers crossed, we'll get some more geeky news. So until then, I'll see thee.